is Angel Vigil. I would like to tell you a story. The story is an excerpt of a longer piece about 6 men in my family. 2 of the men you're going to meet today, a little boy and a grandfather. The name of the piece is Mucho, Macho, Muchacho. I lost my baseball. I pray to St. Anthony because he's the patron saint of lost things. I'm praying to St. Anthony to find my baseball. It's not any baseball. It's a baseball my grandpa gave me. Now he plays for Los Milagros, and on his hat there's a big M, Milagro. And the reason they're called Los Milagros is if they win a game, it's a milagro! It's a miracle if they win the game. Anyway, when they're watching the game, boom, the ball comes flying by, boom, my grandpa catches it like this, and he looks at it and he gives it to me. He says, Hambone, or my real name is Tomito, but he says, Hambone, this is a ball, and I want you to remember your whole life, the day I caught the ball for you, do not lose the ball. I lost my baseball. So I'm praying to St. Anthony to get my baseball back. Now, I got to tell you, I pray to a lot of saints. I pray to St. Sebastian because he's the patron saint of athletes. And the reason is, well, one day I want to be a pitcher for Los Milagros like my grandpa is. And then I pray to St. George because he's the patron saint of skin. I know you can see my pimples. And I pray to St. George that one day I'd have skin like white people. The reason is white people, they don't have pimples, and I have pimples. So I pray to St. George that one day I don't have pimples. And the reason is, in school next to me is La Dolores. Woo! She is pretty. She's like La Linda, my grandma. La Linda means the pretty one. She's so pretty, she won't go to the dance with me because of my pimples. And then I tell my grandpa about it. He's always full of advice. He says, when I was a young man, I was ay que suave. I don't even need to translate, do I? Well, he's never been young. He's always been old. So he's not ay que suave. He's ay que feo. How ugly. Anyway, he says, well, ask her to the dance, but make sure to leave room for the Holy Ghost. So he says, when you're dancing with a girl, well, you got to leave room for the Holy Ghost. So I practice dancing and leaving room for the Holy Ghost, just like this. And then you know what? I asked the Lourdes to the dance. She says no. And I know it's because of my pimples. So then I go to a confession. It's dark in there, and I open the sliding door, and I say, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been a month since I last been sent to confession. And then I have to confess my sin. Or in the back of my comic books, you can get it for $1, X-ray glasses. So I get the X-ray glasses, and I go to school. And I put them on. And I look at La Dolores. They work. I'm seeing things not even there yet. So the priest, he says, Hambone, Hambone. How does he know my name's Hambone? Only my grandpa calls me Hambone. My real name is Tomito, but my grandpa calls me Hambone. He knows it's me. He says, Tomito, Hambone, the reason you have your pimples, now I know he knows it's me. The reason you have your pimples is because of those impure thoughts. So I'm praying to St. Anthony to help me find my baseball. Hey, my pimples are gone. It wasn't the impure thoughts. It was the Lord. Now see my grandpa? He's old and his heart's no good because he's old. So what happens is this. The doctor tells him he's got to stop eating food cooked with lard. It does make the beans and tortillas taste better, but he's got to stop eating foods with lard. So then what happens is this. My grandma, La Linda, the beautiful one, she stops cooking with lard. Boom, my pimples go away. You know what that means, don't you? It wasn't the impure thoughts. I can look all I want. So anyway, what happens is I ask La Dolores to dance. She says yes. So we go to the dance, and my grandpa, Señor, ay que suave, he says, I'm going to teach you my special trick. You got to listen to the woman. He said, what do you listen for? You got to listen to her heart. If you listen to her heart, you'll know what she feels. If you know what she feels, you'll have her like I've had La Linda for 52 years. So I go to the dance with the Lourdes, leaving room for the Holy Ghost, and I listen. You know what I hear? I don't hear nothing. What type of advice was that? Life is short. I'm here to tell you life is short. Back in when I was young, and I was young once, I was like, ay, que suave, but now I might get fail. Now they say a man has to be three things. Fail, fuerte, formal. I got the fail part down. And fuerte, I've always been strong. Y formal, well, when I die, I want on my headstone to say, Don Diego, not Senor Diego, Don Diego. D-O-N, de origen nobel, of noble origin. Formal. So I pray to St. Peter for long life. I pray to St. Jude, hopeless causes. I pray to St. Christopher for a long and peaceful death. And then, I got to tell you, all my life I've left room for the Holy Ghost. And when you need the Holy Ghost, it's not there. I'm here to tell you, when you're alive, you say things like, I've lived a long life, I'm ready. But I'm here to tell you, when you actually know you're dying, all you want to do, live some more. I used to play for Los Milagros. I'm the last one. My wife, La Linda, she died. 52 years with that woman. So now I pray for a milagro myself. I'm too young to die. Hi. Yeah, I know my peoples are back. You know what happened? Well, my grandma La Linda, she goes and dies, and then my grandpa, he don't care anymore. He tells my mom, you start cooking with lard again, I don't care. The beans and tortillas taste better. So she starts cooking with lard, and the beans and tortillas do taste better, but my pimples come back. Now Dolores won't go to the dance with me. And then my grandpa, well then, he goes crazy near the end with his advice. You know what he tells me? He says, if you do go to a dance with a girl, don't leave room for the Holy Ghost. Hold him tight, it's better that way. He says, because when you need the Holy Ghost, it's not there for you anyway, so why leave room? And then he asked to borrow my x-ray glasses. And then he goes to the old folks' home. And then he comes back and he gives them back to me. And he says, he's seeing things he don't want to see anymore. So then my grandpa, he goes and dies. And near the end, he goes kind of loco. He says, Hembon, Chimito, life is short. Life's not short. Life is long. Look at me. I've been my whole age, my whole life. I'm never going to grow up. My grandpa's so silly. Life's not short. Life is long. Oh. I found my baseball.